Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In today's reminder, I want to reflect over something which is referred to in Hadith as the weightiest and heaviest deed on our scales. A quality which, if a person possesses, then in the words of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he is from among ahabbun nasi ilallah, the most beloved of people to Allah. And this quality, dear brothers and sisters, is good manners. Husnul khuluq. In the Cambridge Dictionary, good manners are defined as polite ways of treating other people and behaving in public. For example, when you want to request someone for something, you say please. When somebody gives you something, you say thank you. You hold the door open for somebody. When you see an elderly person struggling to carry something, you help them, and so on and so forth. And undoubtedly, the greatest model of good manners for us is the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, regarding whom Allah the Almighty said, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. And indeed you, O my dear Prophet, possess sublime character and manners. And the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself said, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ. Indeed, I was sent to perfect good manners. And the topic of good manners is very broad. It extends to all aspects of our life. So I have selected 3 areas to focus on today. The first is how to deal with our family. The second is how to deal with people who are unkind and rude to us. And the third is a general manner and etiquette which we should adopt in relation to all people in general. With regards to the family, the profound scholar and writer Shaykh Muhammad Imdad Hussain Pirzada writes in Imdadul Qiyada fi Sirati Nabi al-Hidayah. He says, Inna akbara ikhtibarin li akhlaqi ayyi insanin huwa mustawa sulukihi fi baytihi wa ta'amulihi ma'a ahlihi. Indeed, the greatest test of character for any individual is to see the standard at which he behaves in his own home and the way he deals with his family. And why is this? Because the family of an individual see him at all times, day and night, whatever state he is in, whether he is happy or he is sad, whether he is calm or he is angry, he is relaxed or he is stressed. So it is very difficult for an individual to conceal his temperament and character from his family. And the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, خَيْرُكُمْ خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَهْلِهِ وَأَنَا خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَهْلِي. That the best amongst you is the one who is best to his family. And indeed, I am the best amongst you to my family. And in relation to the manners with which the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam treated his family, Sayyidah Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha narrates that when the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would be alone with his wives, he would be the most soft-hearted and considerate of people. He would laugh and he would smile a lot. Subhanallah. You know, quite often as men we think we have to be very harsh and stern with our wives. We have to assert our authority and our manhood, whereas the prophetic way was to be kind and gentle towards the wives. And it is this which creates a peaceful and loving atmosphere within the home, which is best for nurturing and raising our children. And Sayyidah Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha also narrates that when Sayyidah Fatima, the daughter of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, would visit him, then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would stand up for her. He would take her by the hand, he would kiss her on the forehead, and he would seat her in his own seat. And when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would visit her, then she would stand up for him, and she would kiss him on the hand, and she would seat him in her own seat. Subhanallah, what a beautiful etiquette between the father and the daughter, between the parent and the child. So the next time your child visits you, show him this level of love and affection. Stand up, kiss him on the forehead, and seat him in your own seat. And when your parents visit you, then show them this level of honor and respect. Stand for them, kiss them on their hand, and seat them in your own seat, this will increase the love and affection between the father and the child, between the mother and the daughter. Now, in relation to how we should deal with people who are unkind and rude to us, we learn from the prophetic character that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would be kind and generous to everyone, even if they were unkind to him. And an excellent example of this is the incident of the Jewish scholar Zayd ibn Sa'na radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, who himself narrates that when I saw the face of this man Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I recognized all the signs of prophethood within him except for two. So I decided to test him to see if these last two qualities also exist in him. The first was that his tolerance and his patience will overcome his anger. And the second, when he is faced with extremely foolish behavior, he will still remain patient and tolerant. So Zayd ibn Sa'na, he went to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he purchased some dates. And an agreement was made that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would deliver the dates to him at a later date. Then 2 or 3 days before the delivery date arrived, Zayd ibn Sa'na, he went to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He started tugging at the shirt and the cloak of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and in a very rude manner he said, "O Muhammad, will you not give me my right? I swear it has become the habit of the children of Abdul Muttalib to procrastinate in fulfilling the rights of people and putting off their debts." Now Sayyiduna Umar radiyallahu anhu, he witnessed this and he was enraged, and he looked at Zayd ibn Sa'na very sternly and he shouted, "How dare you speak to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in this manner?" Meanwhile, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam remained completely calm, and with a smile on his blessed face, he said, "O Umar, he and I are more in need of something else from you. You should encourage me to fulfill his right, and you should advise him of how to ask for his right in a polite manner." And then the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam instructed Umar, "Go and get the dates that we agreed to give to this individual, and give him some extra dates due to the harsh manner that you spoke to him in." Subhanallah. So Zayd ibn Sa'na, he witnessed this. He realized that this must be the final messenger of God, because his patience was so great that even though I was so rude to him, he remained patient. He tolerated me. And then Zayd ibn Sa'na went to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he recited the Shahada. He accepted Islam. So my dear brothers and sisters, the next time you face somebody who is rude, who is unkind to you, then consider it a test of your character. Just like Zayd ibn Sa'na was rude to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to test him and his character, likewise when somebody comes to you and they are rude, they are unkind, then think of it as a test from Allah to see whether your patience and your forbearance will be victorious, or will it be your rage and your anger. And finally, there is one remarkable etiquette of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a beautiful quality which I believe if we were to adopt, it would put an end to so many of our issues in society. And that quality is overlooking the faults and shortcomings of others. You know, quite often there are people today who are just waiting. As soon as somebody makes a slip, makes the slightest error, they will expose that mistake and that shortcoming. Whereas the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would love to conceal people's faults. Sayyiduna Anas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu narrates, he says, "I served the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam for 10 years, and never once did he say uff to me. Never once did he say to me, 'Oh Anas, why did you do this? Oh Anas, why did you not do that?'" Now Sayyiduna Anas was young when he began serving the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Without a doubt, there must have been many occasions when he didn't fulfill a task to the desired standard. But the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam never let him feel this, overlooked his faults and his shortcomings. My dear brothers and sisters, It was this sublime prophetic character which transformed the heartless people of Arabia, who were accustomed to burying their daughters alive, into compassionate, well-mannered and civilized human beings. And it is our responsibility to endeavor to adopt these practices and these manners so that we can become good ambassadors of our religion. May Allah the Almighty allow us to become embodiments of the sublime prophetic manners. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.